Oh boy, welcome back to the channel. Obligatory like, subscribe, share. Tell everyone that I'm great. I'm the bestest of the world, and this is the absolute most entertaining gameplay you're ever going to see in War Thunder Sim. And we're going to talk about War Thunder's main problem, because the main problem has been kind of at the forefront of my mind since the Gripen has came out, and it's not going to be anything new. This is not going to be anything that is going to be groundbreaking to anyone, because War Thunder has a main problem. And what do I mean by main problem? I mean it's a player-based thing. It's a psychological, mental disability of identifying as any kind of sort of main in War Thunder immediately makes you the world's biggest, like, fucking most insufferable nerd asshole possible. And kind of what brought this to the forefront for me in the last, 2 weeks has been participating in Gripen discourse, which is, any kind of War Thunder discourse, just don't do it. Like, honestly, just don't. You're going to lose your mind. But the Gripen discourse kind of goes something like this. Basically, Britain and Sweden got this plane added to the game, and the plane was added in a way that was it was unfinished. The flight model was not complete. A lot of it was interpolated. There's no EM diagrams that are publicly available for the Gripen. You're just kind of ad-libbing it based on pilot reports and whatnot. And the model that came to War Thunder initially was rating around its circle at like 22 degrees per second, depending on the fuel load. And it basically enjoyed a 4 degree per second turn rate advantage over the F-16, which means that it has an 8 degree per second turn rate advantage over literally every other fucking plane in the game. Not only that, the energy retention on the thing was stupid. Very minimal speed loss, so when you are bleeding your speed between your initial turn rate to a sustained turn rate, you are keeping 26 to 27 degrees per second for a very long time. And that means that on patch day, the way the Gripen was released, the way that you won every dogfight was basically having a pulse. In RB, if you were able to put the mouse on someone else, there you go, that's it. And the reaction amongst the community was, by and large, kind of like two schools of thought. The first school of thought was, hey, Gripen flight model is not realistic. Here's some sources. We're going to do more interpolation, and we're going to say that it's overperforming. We're going to say that realistically this plane is on par with the F-16A, a little bit better in some regards, maybe slightly worse in other regards, maybe like very minute differences, and it has better kit. And holy fucking dog shit, the reaction amongst British mains and the reaction amongst like Swedish mains and anyone that's a main was basically like, yes, US players are coping because they're bad, and USSR players are coping because they're bad, and the nation that I picked to main is the good one, and everyone else is just stupid, big, dumb doo-doo heads. And it's like, there is some truth to that. Like, there's some truth that the average War Thunder player is absolutely fucking terrible at the game. Like, guess what? In an average of 100,000 people, if you are average, there are 50,000 people that are better than you. There are 50,000 people that are worse than you. Not everyone can be above average. And not everyone is playing this game with the same degree of experience. With that being said, though, like, that doesn't mean that complaints based on historical accuracy and what a flight model can actually do as opposed to what it does in real life are not valid. That, and this is also a video game, so things should probably be added in a way that is at least on paper somewhat balanced. Like, I can buy the fact that in theory a MiG-29 should be able to one circle an F-16C with R-73s. MiG-29G versus F-16C. I can at least buy that fact. The Gripen flight model, the way that it was released, I can't buy that. I can't see that being well balanced or anything that's really interesting. And the thing is, the Gripen right now is, hands down, after 3 different flight model changes, is still the best plane in Sim. The thing is completely obnoxious and has nothing to do with specifically the flight performance. Yes, partially it is flight performance. The other aspect of it is every now and then War Thunder adds a plane that's a little bit too far ahead of the curve. The MiG, not the MiG, actually, yes, the MiG-23 MLD, when it was introduced, was a little bit too far ahead of the curve, and it just kind of clowned on everything for, I don't know, like a year straight. The F-14, arguably a little bit too far ahead of the curve, a little bit too much power creep. Just because in the past Gaijin has basically fucked the game and will continue to fuck the game, doesn't mean that adding the Gripen in a state that is not like historically documented at all and is more or less not realistic at all by at least any means is not appropriate. Just because some other asshole had to suffer doesn't mean that, okay, cool, it's my turn as a British main to brainlessly kill everyone. Because in the past, Gaijin at least like makes an attempt to make things balanced, and they don't always nail it, and more often than not they don't nail it. But usually these people that are trying to justify their pet nation being like busted, a little bit too easy to play, like the whole cope around the Gripen was really stupid. The first part was, well, we don't know that it doesn't do 24 to 27 degrees per second in real life, so that seems acceptable. And it's like, well, yes, but no. The Delta Canards are more energy efficient than regular Delta Wings, but it's not to the point where it's a massive turn rate advantage. And the pilot reports don't support that. The pilot reports say that, yes, the Gripen can beat an F-16. It doesn't really specify exactly the conditions, but in similar weight ranges. Like, with the current flight model, with the one that's been quote-unquote nerfed 4 times over, it can still do that. The Gripen still has the best flight model in the game, but it's slightly more believable. And the specific nerfs to the Gripen were basically on patch day, the turn rate was more or less, in theory, overperforming. Do we have EM diagrams? No. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that yes, doing 24 degrees per second is not realistic, and doing around 20 degrees is more realistic. That still puts it on par with all of the F-16s as far as turn rate goes. The energy retention was still better, and it really wasn't. It wasn't an uneven fight. And then the next like pissing contest was about the engine specifications. The engine on this is it is derived from an F-18 engine. The metal or some shit has been redesigned. The fan's a little bit different, so it provides more thrust at low speed, kind of thing. There's no like real public documentation on the thrust curve, but the way that this plane was added initially was the engine was producing around 30% more thrust than either of like the F-18 or the F-18 Super Hornet engines. And when it comes to engines, yes, it is believable that the Saab engine might be better than the General Dynamics engine. At the same time, there is no replacement for displacement. It is not 30% better. It is not going to be that degree of difference. And what Gaijin has done in quote-unquote nerfing the plane is to reduce the drag on the plane, increase a little bit of drag in turns to get it to match up back with the chart, and now it makes more thrust at low speed and less thrust at high speed, but it still ends up accelerating the same because they weighted it off with drag reduction, which, cool, it's more accurate. It also means the flight model is even better now. So all of the stuff that the quote-unquote British mains, all the Swedish mains were complaining about, it didn't fucking matter. It literally had no effect. This plane still is, at least in sim, is kind of flight performance-wise, pretty much the best thing. And you have 700 flares. You are capable of being incredibly obnoxious. This is the only plane in the game right now that can credibly force most of its fights against any kind of opponent into a gunfight. And not only that, it's not like a missile bus where you have a gajillion flares, but you force the dogfight and you might lose it. It's like, no, you force the fight that you win the most easiest. It's like, I'm not saying like, hey, let's go nerf the plane. It needs to be nerfed for balance reasons. Like, this is just another case of Gaijin adding something that's maybe a little bit too good for sim, maybe in RB it's not as good, maybe it's not as brainless. I think the biggest thing is in IRCCM meta, in the IR missile stuff, like there's not a lot of counterplay to it. And in Sim, there's no counterplay to it. I'm gonna say there's no counterplay to it. Yes, you can take an F-16C. The F-16C in Sim is going to be the second best plane because it does everything this does, just maneuverability-wise a little bit worse, and doesn't have as many countermeasures. It also is a little bit bigger. It's a little bit easier to spot, but even in its quote-unquote nerf state, this thing's fucking brainless. Like I took this in a game against like a couple of Wovie guys, and like I'm gonna troll. I don't hate Wovie. But I cannot resist fucking trolling them. And I can't resist trolling, like, the squadron commander. Because, like, I fucking dogfought the squadron commander in some random game. And he got, like, mad about it. And, like, I can't resist that. Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go fuck with them. At the same time, like, having good opponents on an enemy team allows me to, like, be like, hey, this plane's either hard to use but could be good, which is, like, the SU-27. I think the SU-27 can be good. But it has like niche use cases. It's a large target. This plane is perfectly suited for Sim. It's so perfectly fucking suited that you have people like the RB guy, French Dressing or whatever. He's like going, hey, you need to grind this thing. It's really good. It's like literally the easiest thing to play in Sim because it is. You have all of the tools to be good, and you have all of the tools, especially the countermeasures, that make you fucking obnoxious. Like this game here this one's the flight model before the thrust change, which going from the thrust changes, really all of the matchups are the same. You just kind of blindly outturn everything. You have the good weapons. I go in and I get like 6 kills right away, and some dudes in chat going, why are you here to ruin the game? You're just here to ruin the game. I'm like, yup, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to fly the Griffin and get my fucking star for the day so I can get my Mirage 2000. And the thing is, this isn't like, this rant is directed at like Swedish and British mains, but it's like also directed at like everyone that mains fucking anything, because in War Thunder, any fucking player that tells you they're a main of anything, it doesn't matter if they are a Grippin main or an F-16 main, because fucking Nomakoma-sen, that dude exists. That guy lost his fucking mind after I killed him like fucking 5-6 times with an SU-27 and went to fucking Reddit to complain about USSR being OP. That's after a solid 3 months of him bitching and complaining on Reddit that the Russian team quits too quickly for him to be satisfied because they're not letting him just farm them with his F-16C. No, everyone that identifies as any kind of main just fucking sucks. FW-190 mains especially, fuck them. American mains, Swedish mains, Sim mains. Like I have had conversations in the Sim community that have blown my mind with how obnoxiously fucking dumb they are. Like I still think the most obnoxiously stupid comment that I maybe have ever seen in any kind of War Thunder related discourse is someone in Sim saying that they could win a dogfight IRL in real life against an experienced pilot in the same plane, with literally the only training that they've had is general aviation experience. Literally the only fucking thing is flying a Cessna, and you're gonna go toe-to-toe with like an actual trained fighter pilot and gonna win. Like, no the fuck you're not. You're full of fucking shit. You're gonna fucking turn once and then fall asleep. Like, that is what happens. I had like some dude who's like in the Air Force painstakingly explain to me how fucking obnoxiously stupid that comment was. And the player that made this comment is not your stereotypical Sim main. He's your outspoken Sim main who's gonna fucking tell you in any kind of conversation, like, I play Sim, I'm really smart, I'm better at the game than Defin. I'm gonna lecture RB players on how to play the game mode that I fucking suck goddamn dick at. Like, that is the level of the audacity of just like the whole maining anything mentality. And that's why, like, on my channel, I don't main shit. I play the game. I enjoy playing the game. for the most part. I enjoy showcasing some shit, but like, god fucking damn, like, I like, the best part about War Thunder is the community. The worst part about War Thunder is also the fucking War Thunder community, because god fucking damn, dude, you can't. I can't, like, I am trying to wrap my brain around maybe a solid 40 to 60% of anything that's going on at any one time, and this doesn't just extend to like just randoms and community stuff. Like, this shit's on YouTube too. Like, it's like, watch any tech video. Actually, don't. You just go to sleep. But if you watch some tech videos and you look at his analysis of anything, you're like, holy fucking shit, this guy is an idiot too. Like, this guy is missed the point. Anyways, this is becoming increasingly unhinged. I've had I think I'm up to 12 beers. We're 12 beers in, so enjoy this very exciting gripping gameplay. We're just gonna pull into the Su-27. I mean, we've got 15 seconds of fuel. We're just gonna shoot him out of the sky, and then the game's gonna freeze because Gaijin's gonna nerf my account because I'm the goat. I'm the goat, and you need to praise me in the YouTube comments, and then like, subscribe, and whatnot. But anyways, gripping pretty good. Community pretty bad. Anyways, that's the video. Leave a comment. We'll respond to comments this time, maybe, possibly. Nah, I'm not going to. Anyways, that's it.